Howdy, y'all. So we're going to work through this assignment today if you didn't want to play with this on your own or you're having trouble with the simulation. So we're going to load this simulation. This might take a moment. So that took me a good 30 seconds to load there. But I want you to see what happens when you move these things around. So you move this bar magnet around, and you'll notice that we have a compass here. And if you remember, compasses are just basically bar magnets, but they're just really light and responsive. And you'll see that if I drag this bar magnet, the compass will point in different directions according to the bar magnet. You'll also see that all around here, we have a representation of the magnetic field. And you'll see where the compass would point if you put it at any point in this field. It shows where this magnet is pulling. So that's kind of interesting. That's what we're talking about with part one, this bar magnet tab. So you might want to describe what happens to the compass point as you move this magnet around. What happens to the magnetic field, right? What happens to this magnetic field as you move the magnet around? All right. Right. So so question 2 asks you to talk about this magnetic field, not just the compass point. So you'll notice the compass can really switch directions as you move the magnet. Talk about also what happens to this magnetic field. All right. All right. Next, we're going to click on this pickup coil tab. So this pickup coil tab has, this pickup coil tab has two things on it. It's got this, which is 2 coils of wire and a light bulb, and this magnet. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this magnet through the light bulb coil. We'll move it through these coils of metal, and a couple interesting things are going to happen. So these wire coils here, you'll see I shouldn't point my finger, should point my mouse. You'll see right here, these are electrons. And as you move the magnet through the wire coils, you'll see the electrons move. You're also going to see the light light up. That's because moving electrons are electricity, and they're generating this light. Now, so you might want to write some of that in what happens section, right? Write about what happened here. And then write about what happens to these electrons. What happens to these electrons as they move? Really interesting. Now, I want you to pay close attention to the magnetic field. You might think that moving the magnet is what's important, and it is really important, but I want to show you one other thing. So if we move the magnet down here, we actually generate some light still. And the reason, you'll notice that this magnetic field, look carefully at this magnetic field, that magnetic field is moving in the wire. So a changing magnetic field, not just the moving of a magnet, is what generates electricity. So if we change this magnetic field, we're actually generating electricity. Really cool. Right, so there's your sentence starter here. It says the magnetic field. You should be thinking about the magnetic field moves, right? And that's what generates electricity by moving the electrons, and that makes that light turn on. So what I would say here is something like, when I move the magnetic field in between the coils of wire change. This moves electrons, generating electricity and turning the light on. Really cool multi-step process. And this is actually what our whole modern world is based on. No matter what type of electricity generation, whether it's coal, whether it's nuclear, whether it's hydroelectric, wind, involves something spinning something else, moving a magnet through a coil of wire, and generating electricity. So our whole world is built off of this simple principle. All right. Now we're going to click on the electromagnet tab. All right, so check out the electromagnet tab. What we have here, we have a battery, it's a 10-volt battery. And you'll notice as you move it around, it's attached to these electric coils. And you'll notice that because the battery is electric, it's causing the electrons to move. And so it's causing the electrons to move through these coils. And you'll see it's very similar to the bar magnet tab. Both of them, as you move them, will move electric fields and will change the way the compass points. So what's really happening here is this battery combined with a coil of wires is generating a magnet. It's creating a magnetic field that you can move around. So think about how that's similar to the pickup coil tab. Think about the bar magnet tab. Think about how the electromagnet and the bar magnet tab are similar. They're very similar because they're both generating a magnetic field that can be moved around as you move the battery. Now we have what's called a transformer. Now, a transformer, you might think of those big things in the street as that make those really big humming noises sometimes, called transformers. This is actually what they're doing. They're moving electricity from one type to another. And you can make this happen. So we have, this is my magnet, it's my electromagnet generated by electricity. We can use it to generate electricity again. If we pass this magnet through this coil of wire, we're going to turn that light on. We're going to generate electricity one more time. Kind of interesting. All right. So how is the light turned on? Think about what causes that light to turn on this tab. Think about what we talked about back on this pickup coil tab. I'm trying to apply that to what's going on in this system. All right, and then this is our bonus question. I want to show you we have this cool generator here. This is a hydroelectric generator. This is just model very similar to like what's going over in Falls, Ohio. The hydroelectric generator that makes a lot of power for Louisville. Turn the water on, it spins this wheel and it spins this magnet. Now notice just like over in the pickup coil tab, it's actually not in between the coils, but it's still close enough that it's moving the electrons back and forth, and it's causing electricity. This is actually what generates electricity in your city, right? This water flowing through the dam that Falls, Ohio, spinning a wheel and causing a magnet to move. That magnet moving will cause electrons to move, and then we use those electrons to do everything from charging your phone to making this video. All right, thanks, y'all.